What's going on, folk? Today, I got a much different video than I've ever done. And this video comes inspired by Night Ride from Poland because they just did a build breakdown on cost of their R32 Skyline. And I realized that I've never done a general breakdown of my Drift GTR. So yeah, I think it's time. There's gonna be no intro in this video. It's gonna be a little different altogether. I'm pretty much got a list of shit front to back on, hey, be nice over there. Got a lot of cats. They be doing dickhead shit, you know what I'm saying? So take it easy, puto. So anyways, but yeah, long story short, I got a whole list here of basically what it cost me to build the car. And technically this kind of covers version like 1, version 1.5, version 2, that kind of shit. Because where the car is now is technically version like 2.5. So like, I'm just gonna kind of give you majority of the list, and then I'm gonna also throw in pictures, video clips throughout the whole video, so that way it's gonna be hard to do this video for sure. There's no doubt about that. You know what I'm talking about. So let's start in the beginning and all the way back in 2017. Oh yeah, just for you that don't know, I bought this GTR shell back in 2017. I had no money, had to borrow a lot of money for some friends of mine. And yeah, that was an interesting year altogether. And definitely excellent year, I guess, looking back at it now. But yeah, I bought the car back in 2017 and it was not a running and driving car until 2020. So that's 3 years of buying parts and buying parts and buying parts and going into debt and buying parts. So if you have a project build, doesn't matter how long it takes you, as long as you keep working at it, it will go. You know what I'm talking about? So let's start with prices from the beginning. All right, first thing, little babe, price of this shell, $7,000. And that's a bare shell. That's including delivery because it came from not my state, it came from very far away, so it costs a lot in transportation. We did purchase 2 shells at the same time, which kind of helped the cost overall, but yeah, really it was like $7 grand for the bare shell. That's no wiring harnesses, no gas tanks, no doors, there's no fenders, there's no engine, there's no transmission, there's absolutely nothing. It is a bare shell. Luckily for me, I had the back 3 windows, the rear quarter glass and the back window itself. That helped a lot because finding those is really difficult, especially back in that time frame. As we know, COVID was 2020. That's kind of where, how do I put it? 2020 COVID's kind of where like everything got weird. And ever since 2020, GTR prices went up for the cars. Some parts went up in price, some parts went down in price. So most of these prices I'm going to give you are prices that are pre-COVID prices. So back then prices were, for a lot of shit, really expensive. And now they're some of the parts, like I said, they're a lot cheaper now. So let's keep going. The Harvest car that I used to engine, transmission, the dashboard, the electronics, the gas tank, the brake lines, the fuel lines, suspension, generally speaking, that car was also $7,000. Technically, I think there was more than that, but can't confirm or deny, but that's kind of like the ballpark. All my prices are pretty close to exactly what I paid for everything. Some parts are a little bit less, some parts a little bit more, but as I go and I look back, it's hard to find what I paid for exactly everything, but I know up here what I spent for pretty much everything I bought. So what else we got? BC coilovers, you already know, price is $1,200. It's a little more expensive, but that's what it is. I have Advan GT wheels with the tires. I have 2,900 in those. Now, the Advan GTs were the first set of wheels. Then after the car got painted black, I had a set of CR Kais. So the work CR Kais, I forget what I paid for those, but I'm pretty sure I sold them for a few $100s less than I paid for because they were new. And that was before I bought the BC Forge wheels. BC Forge wheels is later, so I'll give you that later. So yeah, we got fully loaded doors, $3 grand for the pair. And when I say fully loaded, I mean the door handle, the door, what's it called? The door hinges, the gaskets for the doors, the windows for the doors, the regulators for the doors, the door panels, the mirrors. At the time, I paid $2,000 just for the doors without door panels, without mirrors, and without door hinges. So miscellaneous added up to $3,000. Trust me, if you think I'm bullshitting, look up the price of door panels. It costs you $500-600 for a pair of door panels. That's not speakers, that's not window channels, nothing else. So you know what I'm talking about, that's where we at. So the hood, I bought a carbon fiber hood. It was used and shipped. I paid $1,200 for that. And it was a little bit damaged. That's why I painted it black. I didn't want the carbon, I just painted it, you know what I'm talking about. Got fenders, OEM fenders. So that car when I first put it together, I had carbon fenders. Carbon fenders were cheaper than OEM because they were $900. Then I had the carbon fenders in the car for a very short time period. And then I went and bought OEM fenders right after because they didn't fit like they should. And that is what it is. So the carbon fenders cost me $900. The OEM fenders cost me $1,300. I'm not gonna add both prices in my total because after I sold the carbon fenders, it kind of made up for the difference for the OEM fenders. Headlights used, lightly damaged, $650. The windshield installed, $800 at the time. The prices were $800. Today, I think they're only like $560. So substantial difference in price today. Taillights, used set, you know, not in the best shape, $350, cheap, which is not, I mean, cheap for generally speaking, because a lot of these prices are fucking crazy. The front bumper with the lip, that's a 09 front bumper, and then the lip was a carbon fiber lip. Together, I paid $700 between the bumper and the lip. So that was not great, but I bought like the bumper at one time, then I bought the lip later on. So like together, $700 for all that. Plus like little hardware clips and like shit like that. I'm not including in that price for that, but it kind of worked out the way it is. So what else we got? Got the roof pillars. Now the roof pillars, fuck. At the time, I could only get my hands on carbon ones for $900, which is cheap because you would buy like one OEM one for like $7 or $8. Really fucking expensive. And the pillars always fucking break on these cars when you try to take them off and damage them. And then the OEM pillars have trims and clips and screws and all kinds of extra little bullshit, plus the gasket that goes on the door frame. So that was also a struggle to find all those parts as well, which I think I have those little things listed in price later on. So we'll continue going forward. The list I have, I started with the front of the car and worked my way back, but then I forgot about other parts in between back and forth, so my list isn't like exactly front to back in the car. So we got the roof rain channels. Now those were really fucking hard to get because one, everybody called those something different, and even if you called it the correct shit or the incorrect shit, it didn't matter because it was super hard to find them. Like no matter what you did, them shits were hard to find. And then I ended up, to get my roof rails, I bought another GTR shell just because they had the roof rails on the little drip rails on them. It had certain clips and pins and shit on it. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not gonna include the price of that car, just the price of, I guess, like the parts that I have. But yeah, I bought another shell parts car just to fix my shell parts car that was becoming a car, or was a car at the time. So I got that. So yeah, those were $500 for that. Let's see, the full door seals with guides and clips and everything, I had another $500 in those just because the door gaskets themselves. You have the door gasket that goes all around the door on the body side. There's also a door gasket on the door itself too. So those are two different ones. Lucky for me, my doors came with those gaskets, but the chassis didn't come with any of those gaskets or pins and clips. So all that shit, that was $500. It wasn't cheap, and it's also really difficult to find. And that's another reason why I also bought that other GTR shell, was because I couldn't find those clips, and it cost me less money to buy the shell that had all that shit on it that I needed, and my homie needed all other parts off of it too. So we split the car, and it had all these hard to get parts that no one wanted to fucking give up, or they sold them for like retarded amounts of money. So like we ended up just kind of working it out that way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, little baby? So what else we got here? Hold on, little baby. You know what I'm talking about? Hood hinges. I paid $250 for them because I'm an idiot. And I could have paid, I think it was like $180 for a brand new set. And I didn't realize I could get a brand new set for $180, and I only found used ones at the time. And I got a cheap used set at $250. So I kind of, you know, you live and you learn on that one, you know what I'm saying? So that really sucked. I wish I'd bought brand new OEM ones. You just order call up Nissan and be like, hey, can I have some hood hinges? Thanks, man, appreciate you. You know, tell them back. So I got the trunk with the wing. I ended up finding a good deal for $500 because sometimes some people wanted $500 just for the trunk, some people wanted $500 for the wing. You know, everyone's got different wings, different styles, different shit. The OEM trunk is aluminum, which is really nice, weighs absolutely nothing. The wing weighs more than the trunk does pretty much. So I wanted the trunk and the wing. Technically I bought them separate, but I bought them, I bought the trunk by itself and the wing by itself, but the combined price was $500. Technically speaking, I'm also gonna not include in this list the fact that I purchased the same parts more than once. Like, for example, the OEM rear bumper is what I had in the car when I first put it together. But then later on, I bought a dry carbon bumper. And then I bought the current bumper the car has now. So version 1, 2, 2.5, you see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna include those things because I bought the dry carbon bumper, stuff like that. But I'll tell you the price of the carbon bumper when I purchased it originally. Hopefully it's on this list, because if not, I'm gonna have to like go back somewhere and find out how much I paid for it. Which I paid less than it cost brand new substantially, but it was damaged, so you know, and it needed to be repaired and all that bullshit. Anyways, let's continue, boy. We got trunk, hinges, you feel me? Only 200, and it cost me 200 because I found one trunk hinge, I think for $80 and one for 120. So yeah, it's stupid. The pair would have cost me, I think, less, but like, again, I wasn't making any money at the time, and I had already borrowed money just to buy the fucking car and all kinds of shit. My credit card limits were low, so I was maxing them out constantly to buy like all these parts, you know what I'm saying? And it took me several months to pay everything off, and that's like going hard, like paying off the credit card super hard, you know what I mean? So it wasn't easy being cheesy, but you gotta get in where you fit it. You feel me? Anyways, carbon side skirts. So I forgot that I had OEM side skirts originally first, and I don't remember how much I paid for the OEM side skirts. I think I got a good deal, probably $400. But I know what I paid for the carbon side skirts, which is $800, and that's still in the car now, and that's been on the car for the longest time. So I'm just gonna put those on there. I think today the carbon skirts might only be like $500, but they might still be $800. That's one of those things that I don't remember if they went up or down in price or stayed the same. As an example, what the fuck's it called here? Wow. The roof pillars. Those, when I paid for them, was like $900. Today, I think they're only like $380 or like $350 or some shit. It's like massively cheaper now. They don't fit for shit then or now, but they fit a little bit better then than they do now. You know what I mean? Because when I bought my silver GTR, it came with a set because the roof pillar trim was fucking snapped in half and missing. And they're like, oh, do you still want the half of it? I'm like, no, I don't want half. I want the whole thing. So they had a carbon set to go with the car. And I'm like, I knew I couldn't use them. I'm like, yo, fuck these things. I'm like, I didn't want to deal with it. So I bought one OEM one, and I paid more money for one OEM one than the carbon ones cost by like a lot, which really sucked. That's for the silver car though, so that's different. But anyways, so yeah, what else we got here? We got, okay, so I have stock side skirts listed here. I paid $400 for those, okay, whatever. So anyways, but yeah, I'm not gonna include the stock side skirts price. I still have them. I'm pretty sure I still have them. I don't think I ever got rid of them, now that I think about it. So yeah, technically, I probably should include it in the price just because I didn't like sell them to make some money back, because like nobody wants them, because everybody wants the skirts that I have now. So technically I bought 2 pairs of skirts. I don't know if I should include that, but I'll probably just include it in the total. I know what I just said, fool. Take it easy, puto, okay? Anyways, the complete rear bumper setup. So if you don't know, the GTRs have a rear bumper, the cover, and it's the rear bumper cover is the same from 09 to 15, or to 09 to 16. And then the lip is different between 09 to 2011, then from 12 to 16 is a slightly different one. I had the 09 one first, then I got the 2015 one later. I'm not gonna include all that bullshit. I can't remember the prices I paid for all that, but I have like 3 rear bumpers for my GTR. I have a bunch of rear lips for them. So I have a bunch of shit for the car. I have another set of taillights for that car. It's all smoked out, which I smoked Forget why I did that. I think I did it because the taillights were in shit condition, and I did it so like they looked better, but like they're really dark, and I don't want them on my car anyways because the car is already black, you can't see shit. So yeah, so the complete rear bumper, so that's rear bumper, that's the grills, because they have different grill styles between CBA and DBA, which is the two chassis. So yeah, that's the bumper with the grills, because the exhaust cutouts have a grill in them. There's a mesh grill that goes where the diffuser bolts onto. So that's complete bumper, all the grills, all the bullshit. I have 500 into that. Technically, with all the other bumpers and all the other shit I bought, I've probably got like closer to 12 or 1300 bucks in that shit. So yeah, but that's like, keep in mind, this is over the time span of 2017 and today, because it took me money to buy parts from 2017 to 2020. And then it also took me money from 2020 to today, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like everything came out the gate, gang, gang, and the chain gang, you know what I mean? OEM rear exhaust, okay, hold on. The OEM exhaust, did I write that down correct or incorrect? Okay, okay. Looks like I wrote 1400, but it's the way I put the dollar sign in front of it, my bad. I have 400 bucks. I was about to say, there's no way I got 1400 in that shit. That shit crazy. I got 400 bucks in the OEM exhaust. At the time, a lot of guys were making, the power they were making back in 2017 isn't today's power. It's still substantial. It is a GTR, there's no doubt about that. So 400 bucks was a really good deal back then. Today, like, I have another one off of my silver car. I can't even sell it for fucking 350 bucks. You know what I mean? Like, guys are like, oh, I'll give you 200 bucks for it. I mean, yeah, it's not worth me selling it for 200 bucks. It'll go right back on my silver car. Or if I break the one on my black car, I have another one for that car still technically. So it's like, you know, take it easy, puto. So yeah, we got my bride seats. So that's the seats and the seat rails. That's 1100, I have into that. Now keep in mind, when I bought those at the time, again, that was pre-COVID prices. So that's before, what's it called? That's before the prices went fucking through the roof for the fake Chinas, which I have, my driver's seat, I think, is a really good knockoff because it actually has been lasting for several years now. And my passenger seat is the straight China boy you get right now that used to be like 400 bucks for the pair, which is now like 1,000 for the pair. So that's fucking crazy. My girl's coming home. So she at the front door right now. So my girl and my dog coming in, they make a noise. So yeah, the roll cage for the car. Hi puppy. Can you take it easy with all that dragging that shit everywhere? I'm trying to do this shit, okay? All right. Take it easy, puto. So the roll cage for the car, that shit cost me $1,400. When I bought that cage, hey, puto, take it easy. She's just gonna keep dragging this shit anyways. So yeah, the roll cage was $1,400. Can you get her to stop dragging this shit? Yeah, hurry up. Beefer, where are you going? I know, I'm trying to do this video in one shot and the dog running around like crazy.
Well, you're gonna have to cut this out.
No, I'm not, hurry up. All right, so the roll cage. Roll cage is $1,400. That I paid, technically the cage was the cheapest cage I had ever found, ever. It was a Cusco Safety 21 6-point cage with the harness bar. Really lucky to find it, and I could not find a single roll cage in the United States or North America for that matter that wasn't the RSRR some shit cage, which was like a back half cage with tubes that are like that big around, super extra crazy, bolt in for like $2,500. That was astronomical. That's not what I was looking for. I did not want a cage like that. That was not in my wheelhouse. I wasn't fucking with that shit. It's one of the Cusco cage, a standard 6-point or like a 4-point, just something, nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up finding one on the internet that I kept seeing online, and I'm like, man, this website looks outdated, like the old 2000s website. It didn't look good. I'm like, man, this is probably fake as shit. The website's probably closed. They're probably not in business type shit. But after not finding cages or being able to find a cage for like $2,500, which is way more than I want to pay, of course, I ended up finding a cage in the UK, and the cage was only, the cage was only $800. Yeah, it's 800 bucks. I emailed them, did the whole shaboodle back and forth, and that ended up working out surprisingly well. They go, yeah, we have this cage the reason it's 800 is because it's a brand new cage, but it's on display. So it's a little bit faded, has some tape marks, has this, has that, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And they're like, oh yeah, they go, where are you located? Tell them the United States. And they go, oh, we'll get back to you on shipping quote. So shipping quote with customs and all the bullshit ended up being another 600, I think it was. So yeah, I paid like 14 for everything on that. So that was pretty expensive, but also cheap considering it's still a legitimate Cusco Safety 21 cage on that. So now the fun stuff, we got a front suspension. That's the full angle kit, the full shaboodle, the full out, everything. Just in front suspension, I have 2300. I did not include the fact that I think I bought new, new hubs too, shit like that. So we'll just not worry about that. So front suspension, I have 2300 in that. The rear suspension, I have all same shit, fully adjustable, all crazy everything. The only thing that's still OEM in the back of the car is the knuckles, which I need to change in the future to aftermarket ones. But the rear suspension, I have 900 in. I got my throat getting a little dry, feel me? In my brakes, I have 1400 in my brakes, and that is all 6 calipers in the rotors with the pads, pin kits, you know, all the bullshit. I don't think that actually included brake lines now that I think about it, because damn. Okay, with brake lines, that's 16 lights, probably 1600. And then, yeah, that wasn't cheap. So my hydro handbrake setup, I have 800 in it, which it actually might be more than 800. I have a Serial 9 e-brake that I believe was like 4 and change. It's like 400 bucks, somewhere right around that ballpark. I think maybe closer to 500, maybe closer to 300, but around 400 bucks. I have a Chase Bays dual caliper line kit, and I had to get an extended line for it, which cost me more. A bunch of bullshit. That is a Willwood Master, it's all that kind of shit. Plus the mounting plate. I think the mounting plate was only like 40 bucks. That was easy, that was cool. So that was how much that shit cost. I did a front bash, the OEM GTR wheel with airbag. The reason why I have to say with the airbag is because you can buy the wheels all day. Hey, take it easy over there. Scraposaurus. I don't know if this microphone's picking that shit up, but it probably is. It probably is. So anyways, we got the OEM wheel. You can buy them all day long. They're only like 300 bucks to 500 bucks, depending on condition and depending on if they have the buttons or not. Some of those guys have those special ones that are carbon fiber that are like cut flat bottom. Fuck all that bullshit. The airbags are such a commodity for these cars that people are on eBay selling them for 300 bucks just for the airbag. I ended up getting the complete wheel and airbag for 800, which is an extremely good deal. It doesn't sound like a good deal for a stock steering wheel. I could have just put a Nardi in the car and called it a day. But I really like OEM steering wheels. I like the size of them. I like that they have weight behind them. I like that they're very solid feeling. When you grab like a Chinese steering wheel, they're like really chintzy feeling. Not saying Nardi's a chintzy feeling, obviously, because they're quality wheels, but at the time I'm like, oh man, Nardi wheel is so expensive. Buy the wheel, buy the hub adapter, buy this, buy that. And then I'm just like, you know what? Looking back at it, I could have just bought one. And I like Nardis anyways, but I can't remember if the whole Nardi, when I bought the GTR wheel, also the whole Nardi always being on back order shit started being a thing and all that crazy shit. So yeah, then I have my bash bar, front bash bar, do not have one in the rear, just have the OEM rear bumper brace that I had the original one, then I bought another one that was the updated version that has a tow hook on it. That was expensive. I'm not gonna include that in the price, just wasn't cheap. Yeah, I can't remember everything that I bought for the car. I bought so much shit more than once over the years, you know, whatever else. So the bash bar was $450. That's not powder coated. I just splashed some paint on it real quick just so it wouldn't rust away easily. And so far in my crash that I had back in 2021 or 22 or I think 21 I crashed that car. No, it's 22 I crashed the car. I don't know. One of the years I crashed the car, bash bar held up really well and that ended up saving the car. What else I got? So now the fun wheels, the BC forged wheels with tires, I have 4,800 in those wheels. It's expensive. And the reason I list those and not the CR Kais is because the CR Kais were a temporary holdover wheel for my new paint, and then the white wheels looking sick. I love that combo, black car, white wheels. And the BC Forged wheels, they're white, but technically the BC Forged wheels are version 2 or 2.5 or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we'll call it version 2.5 actually. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself from that. Also getting ahead of myself from is the car had the clutch that was in the car was only like $350, so it's cheap. Ended up buying a twin disc, a used Orgira twin disc for that car. And I paid $980 for that, which is an extremely good price considering brand new, they're $1,700. So yeah, I got a really good deal on that. So that's nice too. That's technically V2 or V2.5 shit for those two items, but we're gonna include them. I still own the Advan GTs that were on that car originally. They are not the same Advan GTs that are on my silver car. Those are two separate wheels because the Advan GTs were 19s from the black car and 20s in my silver car. So I'm gonna include the BC Forged wheels because they're on the car now on the price and the initial set of tires I purchased for it. And the twin disc because that's what's in the car now because I broke the Slave a few months ago and I put the twin disc in the car recently, so that's tight. Now, in 21 or 22, whenever I crashed the car, yeah, we'll go over some prices on that. That was a hurtful one. So that's where version 2.5 comes from. In the crash, in the crash, I damaged my hood, which I didn't replace. I broke the front bumper, the front lip, the headlight, the fender. I broke the subframe, the steering rack, the control arms. I broke the tie rods. I broke, fuck, what else did I break? Fuck, let me look. We got rack bushings, corner light, tie rods. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, I broke all those things, which I got super lucky when I crashed that car that I only broke those things because I was doing 80 when I went to try to flick the car back into the next corner and I understeered because the rear was massively over gripped and the front was massively under gripped. And when I had the car sideways one way, I went to throw it the other way and the back didn't keep going and the front just pushed and that car just sailed straight off the fucking road. I'll put a clip in here of the video or wherever I can find. This video is gonna be kind of hard to put together to find all these old pictures, these old clips, these old photos, these old videos. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty cool there. I mean, crashing's not cool, but you know, whatever. So I bought a OEM Nissan Nismo front bumper. That's just the bumper itself. That's not the lip, that's not the grills, that's nothing else. So I bought that bumper very damaged for $900, and that is a dry carbon bumper also, which is pretty cool. So I bought that for $900. I bought the lip that goes with it, used China lip, for $750, so that was pretty fucking rough to be honest. The headlight, I got a used one for $200, really good deal. Still had the ballast in it. So if you ever look at my car now, one headlight's a different color than the other headlight, bulb-wise. I have no idea why. Technically, they should be the same, but I think I also have two different generation headlights, and that's also maybe why, I forget, so I gotta check on that. The steering rack used, I paid $250, which I actually think that I might have paid $350 for, but I'm listing it as $250. So we also have the rack bushings, so I put all solid rack bushings in the car, really simple to do. It's only $100, so that's really cool. It took me all of like 20 minutes or like 10 minutes, some shit. The subframe cost me $195, not bad, not great, but I broke that motherfucker in half. And there's another shield plate down there. That was fucking gone, that was rough. The corner light, one corner light was $110, which really sucked. Today, pre-COVID prices, one corner light, Nismo clear OEM light was $110. Today, it's roughly $120 for the pair, $120 for the pair now. So it used to be for one. Front lower control arms, that's the full shaboodle, that's the arms, that is the bearings, that's the nuts, the bolts, everything. I bought it all brand new, that was $1,100, that was rough. I shed a tear, because I wasn't sure when I crashed the car, everything when I checked it out looked fine, but my wheels were pushed back to the firewall. And I'm like, I couldn't figure out what was damaged in the car. And technically I should have just thrown on like a set of factory suspension to like eyeball it from there, but I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to go from 0 to hero. I wanted to go from 0 back to hero. You know what I mean? Hey boy, shut your little ass up before I make you sit on my lap and stay here. Like punishment. No, ain't like that. Take it easy. Anyways, so tie rod and the rack spacer, $200, because rack spacers aren't that expensive. Tie rods are more than rack spacers. One OEM fender cost me $750, which is an extremely good deal considering that the one that I bought was mint, like absolutely mint. On eBay, that was a local sale. On eBay, you'll pay $900 for a lightly damaged single fender, especially driver's side, which is the one that every fucking GTR needs apparently, because they all crash on that side, I guess. So that was really expensive. I'm gonna include the tow because that's technically part of the bill, in my opinion. The tow home, because I had to go on a flatbed, that was $900 that I had to pay the driver in cash. Otherwise, he said it was gonna cost me $1,100 to pay him with a credit card. That was rough. Had to borrow money from my homies for that night. Luckily, there's a lot of them. That was very rough. I didn't have $900 cash because, yeah, I just didn't have it. So there you go for all that shit. And I'm gonna list a picture of the total for everything because I forgot to write it down. So on the screen somewhere, I'm gonna put a list of the total of how much everything cost me to where I stand currently today. I might just give you like version 1 total and then current total, which isn't gonna be, yeah, version 1 total and then today's total for everything with the way it is set up right now. Fuck, I forgot to include that my third rear bumper for that car. I forget what I paid for that. I think it was only like $500 or $600. All right, again, too many parts on the car. It's hard to remember. It's been from 2017 to 2024 of buying parts for that car. So it's like, I never really stopped buying parts. You know what I mean? I try to not buy parts for that car anymore. It's not at its final form either, but yeah, that's where I'm at. So whatever the total price is here, and then the total price for where I'm currently at today, whatever, boom, there, it's here. I don't know, it's here, it's somewhere. You know what I'm talking about. We be where we be, you feel me? What time is it? I got things to do now, little baby. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I made it interesting. If not, tell me I fucking suck. That's fine. So yeah, hopefully all the noise didn't bounce off the microphone. I'm rocking the microphone because it's more consistent no matter what distance and what, whatever you call it is, it's easier to hear. I feel that, yeah, makes it better. So yeah, hopefully the mic's not too low. You know, I'll throw a little background music on there, just probably one continuous beat to make it more even throughout the whole video type shit. So yeah. If you enjoy this video, let me know. If you're interested in maybe one of these videos in the future on my R32, let me know that. That car would be extremely difficult to do just because that car is 10 years, no. That car's been down for 10 years. I've had it for 13 years, or maybe more. No, I've had that car for 14 years, excuse me. 14 years I've had that car for. So I can't remember everything on that car at all, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and maybe I can do a breakdown video for the black S13 I had. That car went through several iterations as well. I vaguely remember how much that car cost me in general. I know I have a lot of money tied up in it versus what I sold it for. So yeah, like I said, if you like this video, let me know in the comments. Yeah, I'm trying to do some drifting hopefully pretty soon. We have some more special shit coming out with another GTR. That's under wraps, that's coming out. Boom, 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 you're gonna catch some hints in that thing. So yeah, hopefully the debut is gonna be really epic type shit, you know what I'm saying? So stay sucker free, wearing the merch. So if you like the black GTR, wearing the black GTR, it's on the website, blood-thirsty.co, that typical shit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the baby, get yours today, any day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, order that shit up, the baby. I got other shit on there, I got hats, I got shorts, you know what I'm saying? I got all that shit. So stay sucker free, little motherfucking baby.